Did you know that speaking in public is actually a phobia? So many people have such a fear of public speaking, it's right up there with fear of spiders, heights, roller coasters, and snakes. And even if public speaking isn't your job, the ability to get up in front of the room and use your voice and deliver your message is really important. Whether you're speaking in front of 200 people, 20, or even just a small group of 2, you want to be able to use your voice with confidence. In this video, I'm going to give you some tips for how you can be a more confident speaker. Fear of public speaking is actually a social anxiety disorder, and it's listed in the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, affecting anywhere from 15 to 30% of people. Glossophobia is the actual fear of public speaking, and it's a common phobia, one that's believed to affect up to 75% of the population. Some people get nervous at the mere thought of speaking in public, while others actually experience full-blown panic attack and fear. So maybe you wouldn't officially diagnose yourself with this condition, but the challenge is that so many of us struggle to be confident speaking in front of a group. This might be at a meeting for your work or at a community event, or even just speaking in front of your friends or extended family. But the problem is that when we aren't confident about speaking in front of others, then we don't advocate for ourselves and our needs and our wants don't get met. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips for how you can be more confident when you speak, whether it's in front of a small group of 3 to 5 people or a huge group of 50 or even 500. I want to start by saying it is completely normal to be nervous thinking about speaking in front of groups and to have this be something that you need to build your confidence around. I've been speaking in front of groups for a long time. It's what I do for a living. And just last weekend, I was going in front of a group that was important to me. It was a big client. I was excited to be with this group, and I was super nervous that what I was going to deliver wasn't going to be received. So what can we do in those cases? Well, there are strategies that you can use, and I'm going to give you some of those today. Some psychologists trace extreme cases of stage fright to childhood trauma, and others point out that fear of public speaking is most likely a byproduct of low self-esteem and a fear of being judged harshly. Just think about it. We're in a world of social media where our lives are on display to be judged, and judgment is everywhere. It's no wonder we're worried to get up in front of the group. When we can be canceled just like that, we can be disliked and unfriended just like that, for sure we're nervous. And this is exactly it. We get our sense of self-worth from external perspectives. And so we struggle with our own inner self-confidence. So what even is confidence? It's an attitude about your skills and abilities. It means you accept and trust yourself and have a sense of control in your life. Confidence is your belief in your ability to do the things you set out to do. And in this case, it's speaking in front of others and in public. But let's back up, because I first want to tell you where confidence comes from. It comes from what you tell yourself. Confidence is nothing more than that inner voice dictating your beliefs. So if your voice is one that's telling yourself you're a good speaker and you're going to do a great job, then you're going to feel good and confident going out there and speaking in front of a group and doing it well. So here's some specific ways that we can develop that inner voice to give us the message we need. And stick around, because that last one is my favorite and I think the most fun. Okay, so the first one, preparation and practice. This probably seems obvious, but we so often go into situations when we're not prepared. Think about what you want to talk about. What are the topics that the group discusses? Is there a particular show that people always discuss before work? What issue is being discussed at the meeting? Get it in your mind to prepare yourself for the topics at hand. If you're presenting in front of a group, practice. This is your preparation. What are the key points you want to make? What questions can you anticipate that you can be ready to answer? I often relate this to sports teams. And when I was a college basketball coach, I would never send my team into a game without scrimmaging. So why do we expect ourselves to show up and do well without being prepared and practicing? So spend some time and practice. That's number one. Here's a fun one. Use your hands. This calms your body. It also gives your mind something else to think about than your nerves. There's a direct correlation between our nervousness and our physiological response. When we're nervous, when we're anxious, our heart beats a little faster, our blood pressure rises, we might get sweaty palms. The body's definitely reacting. So what you can do is help calm the body, and by calming the body you can calm the nerves. So speaking with your hands, bringing your body into it, is a great way to calm that physiology and let your internal resources focus on what you want to say. All right, next, engage the people you're talking to. Ask a question. This is something I always do in any of my presentations. I engage the audience right away. I ask them a question and let them answer out loud to me and to the whole group. This makes it feel more like a conversation. It relaxes them and kind of gets them into whatever we're talking about, and it settles me down knowing that now we've got this relationship where we're in it together. All right, this is a hard one. Let go of perfection. When we attach so hard to an outcome and then expect that outcome to exist perfectly, we're destined to fail. Because first, we can't control all outcomes. You don't know if the power is going to go out in a big presentation. You don't know if everybody in your meeting is going to be grumpy and just not want to hear what you have to say. And even when the outcome happens the way we want, they're never perfect. Remember, confidence is all about what we tell ourselves. And if we tell ourselves we have to be perfect, then we're never going to measure up because there's no such thing as perfection. So this is a mindset shift. We need to let go of the idea that there is a perfect presentation, there's a perfect way to show up in a group and speak, there's a perfect way to use our voice. There isn't. We want to come in authentic, we want to come in prepared, and we want to come in engaged with the people we're talking to. After that, whatever happens, we can deal with. All right, so this gets me to my next tip, which is let go of what others think. It's silly to say that we don't care what anybody thinks because we certainly do. But the trick is to just not care what everybody thinks. Know whose opinions matter in your life and then spend time listening to those opinions. Again, we can't control the outcome and we can't control people. So we may come in and speak really good, interesting ideas or deliver a great presentation and somebody is just grumpy and doesn't like it. It may not even have anything to do with us, but we attach to those opinions and we let them get us down. We let those negative opinions cloud what we tell ourselves, and we've got to stop doing that. And related to this is know you have something important to say. Sometimes we tell ourselves, oh, I don't have anything to add, or nobody wants to hear what I have to say. We've got to stop that inner voice. It's just not true. We're at a time now where we want to elevate all voices, and that means your voice. So when you're in a group, know that your ideas matter. Tell yourself, what I have to say is valuable. It is interesting. I deserve to be in this space and use my voice. That's a right that you have. So tell yourself, hey, my voice matters. All right, we're about to get to my favorite tip. Are you ready for this one? Dress the part. Dress for success. Dress so you feel good about yourself. Again, remember how that body talks to the mind? When we dress in ways that make us feel good about how we look, we're going to feel more confident entering a room. This is a silly little thing, but it's really important. We know the body and the brain are so connected, so you can set your brain and mind up to feel confident by getting that body feeling good. Developing self-confidence is not easy, and neither is speaking in front of people out in public. So give yourself a lot of grace while you develop these skills. But know, confidence is a muscle and you've got to practice it. You can practice it with these tips, and if you do this consistently, it is going to develop that inner dialogue, which will tell you that you're ready to go out in public, use your voice, and do it well. Share this with somebody who needs it, and I appreciate you being here. I know your time is valuable. Until next time, I'm Lori Sulpizio. Have a brave and courageous day.